Screen is visible. Hello. Hello everyone. Hello. Hello. Good evening. Can you hear me? Hello. Okay. Okay, shall I start now? Screen is visible now. Okay. So the next topic, today's topic is Meniere's disease. Okay. Meniere's disease is characterized by the triad of symptoms. The disease consists of three symptoms, that is vertigo, deafness, and tinnitus. We have seen all these three diseases in last lectures: vertigo, deafness, and tinnitus. Okay. So all these three symptoms, they make a disease, that is Meniere's disease. So, Meniere's disease is characterized by triad of symptoms, that is vertigo, deafness, and tinnitus. These symptoms occur at unpredictable and irregular intervals. There is no prediction that at this time patient will have vertigo or he will have tinnitus, etc. These symptoms occur at unpredictable and irregular intervals. There is no regularity in the symptoms. Okay. And one of the cause for Meniere's disease is endolymphatic hydrops, that is increased tension in endolymph. Okay. Now the etiological factors of Meniere's disease. First one is age. It occurs over 30 years of age mostly. Sex, it is slightly more common in males than the females. The causative factors. Now, what are the causative factors for Meniere's disease? The exact cause of this disease is not known, but some causes, like first one is vasospasm, that is will cause reduced blood supply to the labyrinth. Okay, because of reduced blood supply to the labyrinth, it is one of the cause. The next one is endolymphatic hydrops, that is reduced absorption of endolymph due to reduced blood supply to the labyrinth. Now, what is endolymph? Tell me, what is endolymph? What is endolymph? You don't know what is endolymph? That is why I was telling that you should go through the anatomy and through the physiology of the ear, where the endolymph is present. Hmm? In inner ear. Inner ear में कहाँ? ओके, इतना टाइम क्यों लगा है? और दूसरा फ्लूइड रहता है, और एक फ्लूइड रहता है, दिस इज एंडोलिम्फ एंड अनदर वन इज perilymph. Okay, endolymph is present in the membranous labyrinth and perilymph is present in the bony labyrinth. Bony labyrinth is outer covering. Okay, inner ear में two types of दो labyrinth रहते हैं. Bony labyrinth which is the outer covering and it contains perilymph, and in the uh, endolymph or in the perilymph, a membranous labyrinth that floats. Okay, so in perilymph, membranous labyrinth floats, and that membranous labyrinth will contain endolymph. Okay, so uh, when there is reduced blood supply to the membranous labyrinth, it causes reduced absorption of endolymph. Absorption of endolymph is reduced, and that's why there will be collection of endolymph in the membranous labyrinth. Okay, so membranous labyrinth will uh, there will be increased size of endolymph. The in endolymphatic tension will be increased. That means the size of membranous labyrinth is increased because of increased increased tension in endolymph. Okay, and that is because of reduced absorption of endolymph. And why there is reduced absorption of endolymph? That is because of reduced blood supply to the labyrinth. Okay, that may be one of the cause for Meniere's disease. Then there are some emotional factors. They may cause giddiness, but it may be due to sudden spells of giddiness. Patient may lose confidence and may become emotionally labile. So emotional factor may be present. It may cause giddiness or vertigo. Okay. Then sympathetic system overactivity may cause vasospasm, and because of vasospasm, there will be reduced blood supply to the labyrinth, and that may be one of the cause for Meniere's disease. Then because of hormonal disturbances, there is water and electrolyte disturbances in endolymph, and that may cause Meniere's disease. And some other causes like vitamin B complex deficiency. It is not an established cause, but it may cause Meniere's disease, or it may be because of allergy or septic focus may be responsible for the Meniere's disease. Okay, these are the causative factors. First one is vasospasm, that is reduced blood supply to the labyrinth. Okay, vasospasm से क्या होता है? Because of spasm of blood vessels, there will be reduced blood supply to the labyrinth. Second cause is endolymphatic hydrops because of reduced absorption of endolymph. Endolymph absorb नहीं होता है properly. That's why there will be collection of endolymph in the membranous labyrinth, and membranous labyrinth will be the size of membranous labyrinth will be increased, and that is also because of reduced blood supply. Some emotional factors are there, maybe that may cause giddiness or vertigo. Then sympathetic system overactivity. Because of overactivity of sympathetic system, there will be vasospasm, and vasospasm, because of vasospasm, there will be reduced blood supply to the labyrinth. Then some hormonal disturbances, that is because of that may cause water and electrolyte imbalance or water and electrolyte disturbances, and that's because of that there will be collection of endolymph in the membranous labyrinth. It is not absorbed properly, and that may cause Meniere's disease or all these three symptoms like vertigo, deafness, or tinnitus. And another causes are vitamin B complex deficiency, or some allergies or septic focus if present around the inner ear. So these are the causes of Meniere's disease. Have you understood? Is there any difficulty in causes? Is there any difficulty in causative factors? Okay. And next one is pathology. So when there is distension of membranous labyrinth due to increased volume of endolymph, okay, we have seen in causative factors there is reduced absorption of endolymph. Absorption reduce हो गया तो क्या होगा? There is increase in volume of endolymph. Okay, absorption कम हुआ है तो there will be increased volume of endolymph, and it will cause distension of membranous labyrinth. Okay, that condition is called as endolymphatic hydrops, and this will cause degenerative changes in the labyrinth. Because of distension of membranous labyrinth, there will be some degenerative changes that may occur in the labyrinth, and that's why there will be the symptoms, that is vertigo, giddiness, or deafness and tinnitus, etc. They may be present. And this disease is unilateral initially, later on it will become bilateral. Okay. So pathologically there will be distension of membranous labyrinth because of increased volume of endolymph, and that increased volume of endolymph will cause, later on there will be degenerative changes that may occur in the labyrinth. Okay, now the clinical features. As we have seen, it is the triad of three symptoms, that is giddiness, deafness, and tinnitus. So, in clinical features also, it is characterized by first symptom is giddiness. There will be recurrent attack of giddiness with sudden onset. It varies in intensity, duration, and the interval. Okay, so there will be recurrent attack of giddiness, and the giddiness is of sudden onset, and it occurs in spells of varying intensity, duration, and interval. And this giddiness may ranges from mild dizziness. Okay, there may be some patients may have mild dizziness or imbalance of the body, or they may have severe vertigo. Okay, severe vertigo is usually rotatory in character, that we have seen in giddiness. The definition of giddiness is, or vertigo is, what is the definition of vertigo or giddiness? What do you mean by vertigo? ओके, लेकिन उसमें क्या होता है वर्टिगो में? Okay, there is disturbance of sense of equilibrium and movements, and person feels that either he is moving or the surrounding around him is, um, they are going around him, or he himself is rotating. Okay, so patient will have mild dizziness or some imbalance of body or severe vertigo, and the severe vertigo may be associated with the other symptoms like nausea, vomiting, or perspiration, etc. The next symptom is deafness. There is sensory neural deafness, which varies again with intensity. The intensity of deafness that may vary, and patient may have intolerance of loud sound. Okay, okay. As there is a defect in inner ear, there will be which type of deafness? Sensory neural deafness. As we have seen in deafness, there are three types. Okay, conductive, then sensory neural, and third one is mixed. Conductive is up to क्या? Conductive deafness is up to when there is defect in external and middle ear, and when there is any defect in inner ear or other the central connections, then the deafness is sensory neural deafness. Okay, so here there is defect in inner ear, that is in labyrinth, so patient will have sensory neural deafness, and the intensity of the deafness it varies, and patient may have intolerance to the loud sound. Then third symptom is tinnitus. Yeah, tinnitus again, it may be continuous or it may be present only during the attacks, and it may be more on the affected side. Okay, and sometimes deafness and tinnitus may increase before the attack of the Meniere's disease. Okay, next symptom is nausea and vomiting. If giddiness is severe, then patient will have nausea and vomiting. As we have seen in giddiness, there is just dizziness, mild dizziness or imbalance, or patient may have severe vertigo. So when the giddiness or vertigo is severe, patient will have nausea and vomiting as well as perspiration or some other gastric upsets and diarrhea also, and it is because of vagal stimulation of a vagus nerve. Okay, patient will have nausea and vomiting if the vertigo is severe. Then perspiration, gastric upsets, and diarrhea. These are because of vagal stimulation of vagus nerve. And severe giddiness may be accompanied with these symptoms. Patient may look pale, and the blood pressure of that patient may drop. It may become low. Okay. The next symptom is fullness. Patient often complain about the fullness of the affected ear. The affected ear, there will be fullness. Then headache is often present, and migraine may affect some cases. In some cases, there will be migraine also. The next one is anxiety. Anxiety is associated with again giddiness or vertigo, and there is nystagmus. It may be present during the attack. attack. Okay, these are the clinical features of Meniere's disease. Okay, now what is nystagmus during the acute? Please repeat once again. What is nystagmus? Okay. Okay, so these are the clinical features of Meniere's disease. Any difficulty? Okay, in last lecture I asked you one question, that is what are the proprioceptive organs? Proprioceptive organs. Which are the proprioceptive organs or proprioceptive senses? Hello. What are the proprioceptive senses, or what are the proprioceptive organs? Hmm. Okay, और हम्म, देखा क्या तुमने? हेलो। पढ़ा के नहीं पढ़ा है? तुम लोगों के पास अभी सब इतना अवेलेबल है, नेट वगैरह, इंटरनेट, तो जस्ट तुम लोगों को देखना है, वो भी नहीं देख सकते क्या? बुक्स नहीं हो तो भी चलेगा, वो प्रोप्राइसेप्टिव ऑर्गन्स और प्रोप्राइसेप्टिव सेंसेस इतना टाइप किया तो भी तुम लोगों के पास सब मिलेगा, सब मटेरियल। ओके जूनियर्स, जूनियर बैच, समर बैच, व्हाट इज निस्टैगमस? you're junior, you're from junior batch? ओके, तो निस्टैगमस पता है सब लोगों को? एवरीवन नोज व्हाट इज निस्टैगमस? ओके चलेगा। ठीक है, नेक्स्ट वन। Investigations are again tuning fork test. There is, as a severe sensory neural deafness is present, so it will reveal, the tuning fork test will reveal sensory neural deafness. Again audiometry, it will also reveal sensory neural deafness because there is defect in the inner ear. Then electronystagmography you have to do. Okay, in electronystagmography, the typical finding usually is the weakness of affected labyrinth. Okay, and spontaneous nystagmus and directional preponderance may be present. So the electronystagmography will reveal weakness of the affected labyrinth and whether there is, the nystagmus is present, whether it is spontaneous, not. And other investigation that we have seen in vertigo. So which are the investigations we'll have to do in vertigo? किसका आवाज आ रहा है? हेलो। Okay, what are the other investigations we have seen in vertigo? Investigations of vertigo. Investigations that are carried out in vertigo. नहीं पता है किसी को भी? Okay, now the treatment. Was there is medical treatment? Medical treatment includes reassurance regarding the nature of the disease. You have to assure the patient. प्लीज म्यूट योरसेल्फ। किसका आवाज आ रहा है? Okay, you have to assure the patient regarding the nature of the disease. Okay, next one is labyrinthine sedatives are given like chlorperazine, that is Temitil, or dimenhydrinate, or are they are used to control the giddiness, nausea, and vomiting. Okay, labyrinthine sedatives like chlorperazine or dimenhydrinate, they are used to control the giddiness, nausea, and vomiting. But in some susceptible cases, these sedatives will cause sedation of the patient. So the action for the chlorpromazine or dimenhydrinate, that is Dramamine, they are used for to control the giddiness, nausea, and vomiting. But in some susceptible cases, that may cause sedation also. Then next one is you have to give vasodilators like cinnarizine or beta-histidine. That cinnarizine or beta-histidine will lower the giddiness or vertigo. It is given in considerable period of time. Next one is vitamins like B1, B6, and B12 are recommended in massive doses, but their exact role is not yet established. So we have seen in etiological factors, one of the causes is vitamin B12 deficiency. So vitamin B1, B6, and B12 may be given, but the exact role of those vitamins, that is not established yet. Then you can give histamine drip in severe attacks. If there is severe attack of Meniere's disease, histamine drip may be given. And then you have to advise the diuretics and low salt diet in severe cases to reduce the tension of endolymphs. So we have seen in etiological factors, that is hormonal imbalance, water and electrolyte imbalance may be one of the cause. So you have to advise the patient low salt diet, and you have to give diuretics to the patient. So in severe cases, to reduce the tension of endolymph. Then some tranquilizers and antidepressant will be given to relieve the anxiety. Anxiety is one of the symptoms. Patient becomes very anxious with all these symptoms. So you have to give tranquilizers and antidepressants. So these are the medical treatment, and general treatment includes smoking should be continued, consumption of alcohol should be reduced, and if any septic focus is present, then that should be treated with proper antibiotic. Have you understood the treatment? Any difficulty in the treatment part? Okay, once again, I will repeat the treatment. You have to reassure the patient regarding the nature of the disease. Then you have to give labyrinthine sedatives like chlorperazine, that is Temitil, or dimenhydrinate, that is Dramamine. They are used to control the giddiness. These two drugs will control giddiness, nausea and vomiting. Okay, and in some susceptible persons or patients, that may cause sedation also. Then some vasodilators like cinnarizine or beta-histidine, this will cinnarizine or beta-histidine will also relieve the giddiness of the patient, and these are given for the considerable period of time. So there will be vasodilatation. Vasodilatation will cause increased blood supply to the labyrinth, because of by using these two drugs, that is cinnarizine or beta-histidine, and patient will have um, comfort. Then next one is diuretics, and low salt diet is given in severe cases to reduce the tension of endolymph. As there is this Meniere's disease is because of water and electrolyte imbalance. Maybe because this disease may be because of water and electrolyte imbalance. So there will be collection of endolymph. Okay, there is increased tension of endolymph in membranous labyrinth. That is collection of endolymph in the membranous labyrinth. Okay, because of imbalance of low ma- electrolytes, imbalance of electrolytes. So you have to advise the patient low salt diet, as well as diuretics are given. Then as patient becomes anxious all with all these symptoms, like patient will have vertigo, giddiness, patient will have deafness and also tinnitus also. So patient becomes anxious, so you have to give tranquilizers and antidepressants. Okay, so this is the medical treatment, and in severe cases the histamine drip may be given, because one of the cause may be allergy. So in severe cases we have to start with histamine drip, and vitamins are given, that is B1, B6 and B12. Exact role of those vitamins is not known, but they may be given, as one of the cause of Meniere's disease is deficiency of vitamin B12. The general treatment is smoking should be discontinued, consumption of alcohol should be reduced, and if any septic focus is present around the inner ear, then you have to treat that septic focus. Okay. Okay, now the surgical treatment. In resistant cases, uh, patient may be advised for surgical treatment. That means the operation which reduce the tension of endolymph. And the name of that operation is decompression or shunt operation of endolymphatic sac. Okay. The operative procedure, the surgical procedure is decompression or shunt operation, and that shunt or decompression will relieve the endolymphatic pressure. The next one is vestibular nerve section, and third one is labyrinthectomy. For very severe cases, you have to go for labyrinthectomy. You have to remove the labyrinth, but the disadvantage is it will lead to permanent loss of hearing in the operated ear. And one more operative procedure, that is partial destruction of vestibule by some ultrasonics or cryosurgery without disturbing the hearing. Okay, partial destruction of the vestibule by ultrasonics or cryosurgery without disturbing the hearing. So the aim of operative or surgical procedure is You have to reduce the endolymphatic tension. जो एंडोलिम्फ कलेक्टेड है, ओके स्क्रीन इज विजिबल ना. हेलो. आवाज आ रहा है कि नहीं आ रहा है? हेलो. आवाज आ रहा है कि नहीं? हेलो. 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 आवाज येतोय का? आवाज येतोय का? हेलो. आवाज येतोय का? अरे तुम्ही बोलत का नाही आहेत तुम्ही लोक? किती वेळ विचारते मी, आवाज येतोय का नाही येते? ओके, you understood the Meniere's disease. Any difficulty? Is there any difficulty? Zeba. Zeba Momin. Who is Zeba Momin? Okay, unmute, unmute, unmute yourself, Zeba. Okay, you have understood the Meniere's disease. Any difficulty? Is there any difficulty? Unmute yourself. Not audible. तो कब बोलोगे तुम लोग मुझे? हाँ बोलो. बोलो. करिश्मा. हाँ मुझे आ रही है आवाज. ओके, अभी आ रही है आवाज. आवाज आ रही है कि नहीं आ रही है? आत्ता येतोय का आवाज? आणि पूर्ण लेक्चरला आवाज नव्हता का माझा? हॅलो. अंजली. कवळे अंजली. अनम्यूट युअरसेल्फ. अंजली. हॅलो. करिश्मा. करिश्मा दाभणे. हॅलो, आवाज येत नाहीये का? हेरा. हॅलो. नेटवर्क प्रॉब्लेम. Hello, there is some network problem, I think. I will end the meeting. Okay. Hello. I am going to end the meeting. पूरे लेक्चर को नहीं आ रहा था क्या? हेलो.